This is Gregor from Presonus, and welcome to a Revelator launch event where we're introducing two brand new Revelator products, the Revelator dynamic microphone and the Revelator io44 interface. Now, we're going to talk about the interface a little bit later. Here is a quick video introducing the Revelator dynamic, and then there's Joe who's telling you a bit more about it. Enjoy.
Like a threat. I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bed. Oh yeah. In respect, it's a check. Nothing less. Bag it up.
Given the popularity of the original Revelator USB microphone, we decided to give customers another flavor to choose from, introducing the Revelator Dynamic. More on this in just a second. The original Revelator is still an incredible choice. It has a condenser microphone, and it picks up in 3 different polar patterns. It'll pick up from the front of the mic, from the front and back of the mic, what's called a figure 8 pattern, and also from all directions, which is called an omni pattern. And given that it's a condenser microphone, it has a nice, clean, crisp, balanced response, making it perfect for acoustic instruments, vocals, or both.
And the thoughts and the lies, like the tears that fill my eyes, till my heart no longer sees. Then you tell me just what I need, that you love me.
Now let's talk about the new Revelator Dynamic. It might look familiar to you if you're familiar with our PD70 microphone. This is a traditional microphone that just plugs into your audio interface or a mixer. This, like the original Revelator, is a USB microphone. That means you don't need any other equipment except maybe for some headphones. Plug the headphones in here, plug the computer in here via USB, and you can start recording or live streaming right away. This gives you a very different sound from the original Revelator. While this one is nice and clear and crisp and balanced, this one gives a little bit beefier tone to it, making it perfect for podcasting, rapping, voiceover, or for vocalists who just want a big, beefy, in-your-face tone. Let's take a listen.
In a world gone mad, only one mic can save them. Revelator.
Both microphones sound incredible out of the box. If you're still not sure which one to get, the original Revelator would suit you if you're more into recording things like guitar and vocals. If you need strictly a vocal microphone for singing, spoken word, rapping, and you want something with a nice, warm, almost in-your-face sort of a sound, the Revelator Dynamic is fantastic. Now, what if you need more than one microphone? What if you need more inputs? That's where the Revelator interfaces come in. I'm going to turn it over to my buddy Gregor to talk to you more about that.
Hey guys, this is Gregor from Presonus, and I'm super happy that you're joining us for our Revelator launch event today. My good friend and colleague Joe Gilder has already shown you our two Revelator microphones, which just sound incredible right out of the box. And it's my great pleasure now to show you a brand new addition to the Revelator interface family. This is the Revelator io44. Now, this little guy, which is smaller than a DI box really, makes you sound incredible, just like the microphones do, but here it's the case for anything that you plug into it. And this to me is really the core difference between these Revelator microphones and the interfaces. If you just need one microphone, that needs to sound great, and you need great routing capabilities for all of your software so that you can make what you hear audible to an audience. That's the perfect device for you right here. But if you also want to connect speakers, headphones, headsets, if you already have microphones, then this interface right here, the Revelator io44, is amazing. Not just because of the form factor, but also because of the incredible price point. Now, let's take a closer look at the connectors that you got. First up, we got a microphone and instrument combo input. So you can either use this to connect a studio-grade 48-volt microphone, like a condenser microphone, or you can also use it to connect an instrument such as your guitar and then mix together your live performance with a backing track, any signal on your line inputs, or any other audio that comes from your computer. Together with the amazing Revelator software, it's then super easy to live stream this mix of input sources and playback sources to any destination that you want. It could be Skype, Zoom, it could also be Fender Play for guitar rehearsals, it could be OBS with any destination that you can think of, Twitch, YouTube Live. The possibilities are truly endless. Next to that, you have a headset combo input and output. So when you plug in a regular headphone, then it's just a headphone output. But if you plug in one of these headsets that have a mic attached to it, then this is also serving as an input at the same time. Next to that, we have a stereo line in, which you could use to connect a DJ mixer, for instance. So if you want to live stream your DJ sets, this is perfect. And if you consider that, the easiness of the routing to make anything that you hear also audible to an audience, plus the fact that anything you plug into this just sounds great because of the dedicated studio processing that you get on every channel. This is just an incredible package. Then on the back of the unit, you find USB-C, which connects the audio interface to your computer and also powers the unit. And you'll also find balanced outputs for professional speakers. The front of the interface is really nice and compact. You get this nice colorful screen that displays input and output metering. You get a preset selector for each of the inputs here on the front. You also have quick access to 2 presets per input that you can switch just at the press of a button. You get a speaker mute, and you also get a speaker level, monitor blend, and gain control. When comparing the new io44 to the already existing io24, I'd say that this one is perfect for any kind of musician who needs more than one dedicated instrument input. Like for example, if you're a singer-songwriter, you have one guitar that you want to mic or plug in, and you have one microphone, and you want to stream that over, let's say, Twitch or YouTube Live, then the io24 is of course a great choice. Also, if you need MIDI in and out for your external synthesizers like the ones behind me, then the io24 would also give you that. But if you don't need these extra inputs and you have a mostly digital setup, then the io44 is perfect because of the cheaper price and the smaller footprint. Another fantastic added value is the UC Surface remote control. That's a free download for iPadOS and Android. You can just launch that and it gives you full control over the entirety of the Revelator IO interface series, including the io44. So for example, I can directly remote control from here what I'm sending out to my live stream. Like I want to push the playback maybe a little bit more for my audience, but I don't want to do so for my headphones. And I also get dedicated fat channel control, which is a famous signal processing chain that you might already know from Studio One or Studio Live, the mixers. Dedicated compression, equalizer, gate, high pass filter, and a limiter that you can drive into for each of the inputs, which ensures that anything that you plug into this interface here sounds incredible. The Revelator, of course, also comes with some great sounding presets. If you need a broadcast voice, just literally select the broadcast preset right there. You don't have to dive into the fat channel, but the extra control is there if you're looking for it. To summarize the advantages that the io44 gives you, it's the form factor, it's how easy it is to make what you hear audible to an audience, and the fact that anything you plug into it just sounds great because you get dedicated studio-grade effect processing for each and every input. So whatever the application, the Revelator io44 will make it sound great.
Thanks, Gregor. So what makes a Revelator a Revelator? Right, I've got this, that's a Revelator. The original. Got this, that's a Revelator. This is a Revelator, and this is also a Revelator. Is it just a name, or is there something in common with all of them that makes them awesome? It's the second one. As a standalone USB microphone or audio interface, the Revelator is fantastic. However, there's a lot more going on under the hood. If I open up Universal Control, I can see that I've got a Revelator dynamic plugged into my computer. If I click on that, it opens up this control panel. This allows me to control several things to customize the experience of Revelator for me, the user. The first is presets. I can come up here and I can change what the microphone sounds like, or if I'm using one of the interfaces, I can change presets based on what I've got plugged into that input. We've created a bunch of presets for you, so you don't have to know a lot about sound and audio to dial in a great sound. Now, if you do know about how to use things like EQs and gates and compressors and things like that, then we give you access to the fat channel settings here. You can just turn each one on and off, or if you want to get really into it, you can click this button, and now you can see each individual setting and you can dial it in to your heart's content. If this looks familiar to you, this is the same fat channel that we use on our big, expensive, wonderful digital mixers that we sell for live sound and studio use. I use one here in my studio. We've got the exact same processing here on this USB microphone. It's bonkers. The same settings I use when I'm using this mixer, I can use on here as well. For example, this is how I have things set up for my Revelator dynamic. I remove a little bit of low end here, a little bit of low mids, boost a little bit of the top end to make it sound nice and crisp. And I can save all of that as my preset here. So we've got presets out of the box. We've got customization to make it sound exactly like you want. And the third thing, and probably the most obvious thing on this screen, is Loopback. What is Loopback, you say? When you buy a Revelator microphone or interface, not only are you getting a microphone or interface, you're actually getting a virtual mixer. This first fader here adjusts the microphone itself. So I can turn it up and down. I can adjust how much reverb is there. This thing has reverb built in. So cool. I can also adjust all the fat channel settings like I showed you before. These other faders here allow me to do even more. So if I want to play music on my computer, sing on my microphone for a live stream on YouTube, I can do that really easily. And I can set the music to come down this fader and have my voice here. So during the show, I can control the level of the music and my voice from this simple interface. I can even control this interface from an iPad, so I don't have to have a mouse and keyboard in my hands when I'm in the middle of my performance. I can have the iPad just over here out of sight, and I can just do a little mix right there because this has its own built-in mixer. So I can have what's called Loopback. Now, why is this called Loopback? Because I can create my own mix and then loop that mix back into the computer to send to things like YouTube Live, Facebook Live, OBS, other live streaming platforms, or just a video recorder. So I can mix what I'm doing on the fly and then have that mix get recorded. If you've ever tried to do videos on your computer, you know getting the audio right can be a bit of a pain. You record with a microphone and some music, and then you realize, oh no, the microphone is too quiet, the music's too loud, it's all one file, I can't fix it later. Guess what? With this software, you can fix it before you ever start recording. You can put on the headphones, listen to exactly what the mix sounds like, and then you can record or do your live stream knowing exactly what things are sounding like. Not only that, I can have my mix a little bit different from your mix. So maybe in my mix, I want to have my vocal a little louder so I don't go flat when I'm singing. But for your mix, I might have the vocal a little bit quieter. I have different mixes here. So here's my mix, vocal nice and loud. Let's say here's your mix where the vocal's a little quieter and the music's a little bit louder. I can always listen to each mix to see what they sound like, but you will always hear stream mix A. I will hear the main mix. There's a lot of flexibility here. If you've done any sort of live streaming or anything in this vein before, you know it can be really challenging. Revelator solves a whole host of issues with one single device. Thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen today, head over to Presonus.com and check out the full family of Revelator products. Find one that's right for you.